fit in the world. And I want you to do me a favor right now. Don't use it. It has nothing to do with you. It is what's happened in your world. It's something that's happened to you, but it's not actually you. It has nothing to do with your valuable, whether you're valuable or not, or whether you have the power to, you know, like David said, become a powerful leader, right? The youth right now are our greatest gift. And I just need to know that I'm making an impact for the youth, right? So a little bit about that. I am running a growing financial firm. Actually, we just expanded to Ontario. We're going to be in Nova Scotia here by the end of the week. We have agents across Canada. It's empowering, but they're everyday people, right? In some cases, they're quite young. I mean, my youngest agent is just turning 19. My oldest agent is just rolled over 75. So again, there's opportunity for anyone and everywhere, right? But I'm going to get into, you know, a lot of that kind of stuff with you. But first, I just want to let you know, when you're growing up, like I said, you're going to run into stuff, right? What our family knows about finances and goal setting and all of these things, that is innately what we're going to know and how we're going to operate. But I became acutely aware not too long ago when I got a phone call that my mom had passed away. My mom was 54, guys, right? And I mean, you guys may not, you know if your parents have things sorted out, but I just assume my mom did. You know, we think our parents have it figured out. We think our parents know what to do, right? And when my mom passed away at 54, I realized in very short order, she knew nothing. She knew nothing about what was next, about what to do. She didn't have any money saved because nobody had educated her on how powerful it is to pay you first. Yes, it's important to pay your debts. It's important to pay the people you owe money to. Absolutely. But you need to pay yourself first. There's empowerment around being able to be financially stable. Okay. And when I ran into what happened to my mom when she passed away, I found out the mortgage company had given her way more debt than she could carry with her income. She had zero protection of any sort, no education, like I said, right? It's no fault of her own, right? But because you guys are here, you give me great hope that being here, you're going to know to ask questions, to seek out mentors like David, to seek out mentors through young fellows, right? This is really crucial, guys, okay? So when I got into all of her affairs, I realized, okay, there's nothing here. And I had to literally evict my baby brother and baby sister, for all intents and purposes, off the family farm that my mom had given her entire life to accommodate, to have and keep, right? I'm the oldest child by 11 years. I should have been the one to be able to keep it all together. I should have been the one to be able to protect my younger siblings and have it all figured out. But again, because my mom didn't know, how much did I know? I knew nothing, guys. I knew nothing. So right now, if you're sitting in a position where you feel like you don't know, that's okay. That's okay, right? The power is in, you don't know, and you know now to look, okay? I can't speak to, each of the amazing countries that you come from. I can't speak to the actual ins and outs of it, but please, please, please seek information. Okay, information is power. Education is everything, right? And the mission of this whole organization is empowering, okay? But I believe wholeheartedly that we all have something burning in your gut, even as a small kid, some dream, some hope, something that you want to accomplish. Right? Going through all of the paces in your life, right? I don't know, maybe how your parents, maybe they tell you, go get an education and you'll get a good job. Go, get this, go get that. Maybe there's a different list. Maybe your priorities of your family are different, but here's the reality. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to make an impact? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to speak to amazing people like you guys? Right? In order to show up in the world, you need to show up in the world. That might sound ridiculous, but you do. Right? Even on my Facebook, even on my social media, you will never see me allowing the negativity to get to me, because David kind of spoke to it. I mean, you look online right now and there is a lot of negativity. There's a lot of he said, she said, a lot of people running off ego, not information, right? And it's not wrong. There's no blaming, but we need to wake up. We need to wake up to what the need is, to what is next, right? 99% of us don't have a clue. We don't have a plan. right? We don't know what we want. So how do we build a plan? Right. So I always say to people, if I ask you to meet me somewhere and I don't give you an address and you don't know the address of where you are, the hopes of you getting to that destination are none. There's zero, there's zilch, right? So what's the first plan of attack? Well, where are you standing right now? Where are you standing right now? I'll guarantee you, if you guys are on this call, you're probably passionate. You're probably motivated. You're probably young and you know that there's better out there and you can reach it. But how? So what we need to do is know exactly where you are, right? So if you have a pen and paper in front of you, write these things down, guys, because you will forget. I know I do, right? When my leadership speaks to me, I have an amazing business partner in Stephen Holbrook, and he is massive. The man he's all about his people. And I just want to mirror that in everything that I do. And again, here in this call, right? So I need you guys to just write down two or three things that you want to affect in the world, that you want to change in your life personally. Maybe you have a family member that you want to support, take care of. You know, I would have loved to have seen my mom retire, right? So instead, I'm going to make sure that my children get the education that I didn't, right? I'll tell you right now, my 19-year-old stepped in to go get her first loan. And she argued with the man behind the counter about interest rates, about, you know, the information that she had learned, you know, through me, because then she could, you know, she could actually, you know, she had power. She had power. Okay. Give me a show of head nods. How would it feel to have money, be empowered around money, and actually have a goal and be on track for it? Would that be something that would be interesting to everyone? Would that be something that you would like to do, to have power and empowerment around where you're going and where you want to be? Maybe setting some goals, right? These are really important, really, really important. So a lot of us will hide where we come from, right? Maybe we're ashamed, embarrassed, what have you. And at one point that was me too, right? Like I had a slideshow to show you some of the places, or the place that my mom had passed away in. And it was a very old farmhouse, and the septic was overflowing outside the window, and there was no windows per se in the room she passed away, and there was plastic, right? And there's just a lot of things that as a kid, I just thought that was normal. I really did. I thought that was completely normal. And here's the reality, guys. When she passed away from that massive tragedy, and I can't tell you how much my mom meant to me, right? She taught me that it didn't matter if I was a girl. It didn't matter if I was small. It didn't matter if I was big. It didn't matter who I was in this moment. I had power to be whoever the heck I chose to be moving forward. So when I lost her, you can imagine that was a pretty big, massive hit for me. That put me into a bit of a tailspin, but it also forced me to educate myself in realizing mom didn't have things sorted out. So I went and I used that pain that came from that. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to perpetuate this. I'm going to break the cycle. I'm going to get educated. I'm going to get into the world, and I'm going to make the difference for all these other people, because be damned if anybody's going to go into this situation on my watch. Okay. This is why when David asked me to speak today, I was all over it, because how cool could it be, of all, you know, the 60 people on this call, if only one of you were empowered, one of you became the next leader that changed lives for people across the globe, or even just in your community, right? I think that that's worth it. I'm willing to jump through flaming hoops if that's what it takes, because I believe that we need to be less focused on ourselves and more focused on each other, right? Because if we can get our financial home, our own personal home, sorted out, right? Emotionally, financially, and be empowered, guess what's next? Our community, right? Our community. We can affect our community. We can change how things look, right? Maybe things are much better, and maybe things are much worse where you are. And I can respect all of the above. But here's the reality. You have an obligation to be the best version of yourself, right? So if you can affect your community, what's next? The world, your country, right? I don't know about you guys, but Canada is such a blessing to live in. But There is a big hole. Like me and David were actually talking about it, and I'm very passionate about this. Canadians, like I said earlier, they do stick their head in the sand, right? We like to think that Canada's okay, that everybody's okay. And that is not true. That is not true in the slightest. I can't even imagine what other countries are like right now if Canada is in the state that it's in. I am in a sector where I get to see where people are standing financially and see how it affects their emotional standing and how they affect their family. It is a deterioration that starts with the lack of knowledge. It really does. I can't stress that enough. So if you have a space around you where you can reach out through David's organization, however that looks, guys, you need to do it. Because without education, our futures aren't up to anyone else. Our futures are up to us and us alone. Okay. I can't blame my mom for not educating herself. I can't blame her for that, because did she know? Did she know that there was something wrong? No, she had no clue. Right. But I do know. So I have zero excuse for not educating myself further. And I'm going to take it further than that. I'm going to speak to amazing youth like you guys. Like, I can't tell you, you may in this moment feel small. You might feel young. You might feel like you're not on track. You might feel like you're struggling. Here's the thing. I am honored to speak in front of you. And I have a company that spans Canada. I have teammates that are going to be sprouting up in the US here pretty soon. Just know that money means nothing. It means nothing if you do not have a good heart in using it. Okay. There's many wealthy people out there that keep it for themselves. That is not how me and my affiliates operate. I don't know about everybody else, but that's not how we operate. Okay. Because it needs to be shared. This is a global problem, right? We think like we're individuals when we are not. We are part of a whole. And you guys, if you can just get one piece of who you want to be, even in 30, 60, 90 days, and kind of model, find somebody find a mentor, find somebody to idolize, find somebody to, to just be around, because guys, you're only going to be as powerful and as effective as the top 5 people that you hang around. So if you hang around people where you are literally the most driven person in the room, you are the most motivated, you're the only one that talks about savings, you're the only one that talks about the future like it's this friend you can't wait to meet, I guarantee you will not go as far. You need to surround yourself with people with like dreams and like hopes. Okay. It's really, really important. I cannot stress this enough. I rub elbows with people that make $5 million a year. And then I rub elbows with people that make $20,000 a year on EI, because they've had a terrible injury at work and they can't work anymore. And you know what I've learned? Money has nothing to do with identity. Nothing at all. Nothing. Okay. You can be $1 million earner and still be small and still be selfish and still be very, very, very about you. And then you can be the one that makes 20 grand and you're the one that's volunteering at the neighbor's place to help them out. You're baking goods for the old gal that just lost her husband. These are the people we need more of, right? So this is me stressing to you, I don't care where you are right now. I really don't. The fact that you're here and you're trying to educate yourself, massive, guys. You are already taking that first step, that first action step to becoming more. Because I bet you if you right now wrote down your wildest dream, right? Biggest thing you could think of, I guarantee you can beat it. But right now you don't see it. You don't see it. I guarantee you that writing it down will feel awkward because you don't believe in yourself. Okay. Confidence comes from belief. But where does belief come from? Belief comes from action, right? If I tell myself, I can't swim, and then all of a sudden I take action and I learn to swim, guess what happens? I have belief, right? So confidence comes from belief. Belief comes from action. Action comes from setting a goal. Goal. You're seeing the trend here. This is so important. I'm so glad David let me talk about this today, right? And the confidence comes from completing that goal, right? So you should all have a 30, a 60, a 90-day goal, a 12-month goal. You're worth it. Put in the time, put in the effort. It's so important, you guys. So important. Do you know the only reason it took me to, I'm 41 now, FYI, the only reason it took me to 41 to get to where I'm getting or to where I'm at now is because I did not learn the skill of setting a goal and setting it for the powerful woman I'm going to be and believing in her. Okay. Anoint yourself to believe that where you're going, you deserve it. The only thing limiting you is your belief. But I've already elaborated on that. Goal comes from action. Action comes from setting a goal. You know what I mean? Like belief comes from action. So it's so important that you know yourself and have an honest conversation with yourself. Who am I? Who am I? Where do I want to be? Right? I mean, my mom drove truck. Do you honestly think I wanted to? Darn sure I can. I can weld. I can start horses. I can paint. I can hammer. I can do whatever you want. I can do whatever you want. But I tell you what, I'm not ashamed of where I come from. That gives me power. When I sit and talk to people now, I sit down and I talk to, you know, say the husband, and the husband's like, oh, you wouldn't understand. I ranch, or you wouldn't understand. I drive truck. I'm gone for 12 hours a day. I said, actually, sir, I do. And I feel for you and I admire what you're doing. But wouldn't a brighter future look better? Wouldn't a little empowerment, or at least knowing where you stand, wouldn't that be empowering? And 9 times out of 10, we end up being very, very, very close by the end of that meeting, because guess what, guys? If you're vulnerable, you'll allow other people to do the same. And in that space, you can make connection. Connection is everything. How many times you guys walked by somebody that was struggling with something and you weren't sure what to say, so you kind of didn't say anything? That, guys, by ignoring, you're allowing, you're enabling, right? We just really need to look up and be part of the whole, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. It's really important. Okay. So I've just got some stuff here I really want to share with you guys. Okay. As far as the goal setting, it's super important. So there's actually a few of them. So if you have a pen, please write them down. Okay. First of all, like I said before, I really need you guys to write down, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Not changing you. Okay. Let me reiterate on that and be super clear. Do not change who you are. I'm telling you right now, looking into this camera and seeing all of you amazing people on here, you are good enough, okay? As you are right now, right? But you will never out-earn your identity, and that is true. You really won't. So if you don't believe you can, I'm sad to say you won't. And I don't want to see that happen to any of you, okay? If you feel like you want to run a business, then let's start setting goals now. Let's start seeing what's the first step. How can I get there? Who do I need to be able to run it successfully? What skills do I need? Guys, it's endless, the amount of things you can accomplish if you just take the first step. Okay. So life. So here's some things you need to focus on. Okay. If you're going to be effective in any business, not just mine. Okay. Is one, you need to make a real commitment. And I don't mean to your parents or to your sister or to your family. I mean to you, to setting a set of beliefs in place that you actually start proving yourself wrong, that you're not good enough, or you can't do it, or it's too lofty a goal, or that dream's just too big. There's no such thing as too big a dream. There's no such thing. There's just not enough belief in yourself to see yourself attaining it. But if you keep climbing the stairs, guess what? Eventually you get to the top and you'll be able to see it. Okay. 2, track your success, man. Track it. Write things down. Have a journal. Here, I'll share with you. I have a journal. I write in it every single morning. And you know what? The more successful I get, the more I write in my journal, because I need to hold me accountable. I'll go back to the first page and I'll be like, wow, my dream was small like 2 months ago. And then I start expanding and I start growing. Okay. It's really important. And break your goals down. Number 3 is break your goals down, right? If they seem too big, break them down. Like I said, if you want to open a business, okay, what's the first step? What can I do today? What can I do right now? Always ask yourself, check yourself constantly. What can I do right now? What can I do in this moment, right? Okay. Number 4, ask for help, guys. The fact that you don't know is not moral. It's just, you just don't know. You haven't encountered the information yet. It's not wrong. Be an eternal student. It's huge. If you can actually ask for help, you would be amazed how many amazing mentors just come out of the woodwork and start to help you. And they want to help you because you're humble enough to ask for help. Humble's huge. It comes up across the board. No matter how much I earn, I always remember where I came from, and I remember to be humble, okay? Because nobody wants to help an arrogant man, right? Now, 5, be willing to revise your goals as you go. Be willing to be a little bit flexible with yourself. So if, say, your goals were to save X amount of dollars in 6 months and you get laid off or you get fired or you have, it's just a direction change. It's just an adjustment. It's not the end of the goal. Okay, so be flexible. Be okay with changing the odd thing up, okay? Now, 6. I have a vision board to help me focus on this, where I have photos of me and my youngest, my little 5-year-old, because I'm a mom of 3. I actually have a 20-year-old, I have a 24-year-old, and I have a 5-year-old. I am so profoundly proud of the fact that I am a mother of 3, but I tell you what, they're going to see me win. And they're not going to see me be ashamed of struggling, and they're not going to see me go out without a bang. And I'm going to make sure that they're educated, unlike I was, and unlike my mom was, right? So, but the big thing is about what I'm saying with the vision board is I want you to put it somewhere where you can see it. I don't care if you take a marker and write on your mirror. I don't care, right? Find a statement. Find something that resonates with who you want to be. And you'll know, because there'll be like this emotional reaction where you'll be like, ooh, that hit. Right? For me, it was my mom passing away and I couldn't save the home. I couldn't save it. Ask me how fast I got educated, kids. Ask me. It was months, not even. I was educated in the business, kicking butt, taking names, and changing lives of people just like my mom within the year. Because I am not one for not taking action, but that vision board was very, very important. Put pictures of your family on it. Put pictures of the car you want to drive. Pictures of the dress you want to wear when you're walking across stage with your favorite charity, whatever. I don't care. It's your vision board. Blow your own mind, right? Think big, guys. Think big. Okay. So keep your eyes on the prize. 7, you've got to be consistent. You have to be consistent. I don't care how you need to do it. I don't care how you put it together, but be early and be motivated. Guys, you have to make sure that this vision of yours is big enough that it's going to motivate you to show up. So how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're going to, even this Zoom, right? If you're 10 minutes late, you're probably late for other things or showing up kind of a little bit less than 100% in other areas of your life. So check yourself. It's important. It's really crucial. Growth does not come from sitting in your comfort zone. I promise you. Probably the biggest years I've had in life have been the years where I've been like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable. Here, let me lean in instead of leaning out. Okay. And 8, big thinking. Big, really, really big thinking. Like scary big. Like I actually have a vision of actually moving to Ontario and opening an office there, not just having teammates there and training them, virtually. I have a vision of expanding and getting into BC and getting into all across the coast, because guess what? Girlfriend of mine's dad passed away, and they are the most underserviced area of Canada. And they're a largely unemployed population. They need help, right? So that's that for that. And then mindset. Number 9 is mindset. Please do yourself the favor of reading a good book. Always have something going on. Read a good book. Watch podcasts, right? Webinars, podcasts. YouTube's loaded with free nuggets that, I listen to them every morning. I have, actually, I can share some with David if he wants to share them with you, make sure that it's all good, right? But my mentor speaks directly to everyone on Instagram and on Facebook and all of these things. But you know what the powerful part is that he sits kneecap to kneecap with me in my office and he builds me up. This is why you need a mentor, okay? Mindset and mentor go hand in hand, because you're not going to be able to stay objective with yourself. You're going to struggle. You're going to find spots where you think you're okay, but you need somebody that's going to be kind, not nice. I want you to write this down because I want you to practice being this, okay? Kind is saying what people need to hear, fundamentally must hear to improve. Nice, don't mind me, that's my 5-year-old. Being kind is saying what they need to hear. Being nice is saying what they want to hear. So say, you know, somebody is struggling and you can see them, they're kind of sleeping in, they're late for work every day, you know, they're going to probably lose their job, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. This is where you step up and be like, hey man, you know what? I love and respect you with all my heart, but I got to tell you the truth. I mean, permission to be honest with you. I always ask for permission. It seems to be received better. I'll be like, you're going to lose your job, and not showing up for yourself. You're not showing up for your job, and you're going to lose your job, and your whole life and all your goals and dreams are going to get flushed for a few months at the very least. Right. So that's being kind, being nice to be like, hey, nice suit today, bud. Good luck getting to work on time. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that. There's enough of that in the world, right? There's enough of us walking blindly past each other, not helping each other grow. Don't be one of those people, right? So be kind, not nice. And the mentor should help you do that as well, right? And the last one, number 10, celebrate your successes. And I don't mean the big ones, right? You can celebrate the big ones, because trust me, you won't be able to help yourself. Because if you've set a goal and you've done everything right and you've plugged away and you've done everything that you promised yourself you would do and built that belief to a point where you're just about like exploding, you're not going to have an issue celebrating the big stuff. But let me ask you to celebrate the little stuff. So if you woke up in the morning, you woke up early, right? You made your bed, you had your shower, you did your workout, whatever your goals were, right? Or for me, it's getting up early, grabbing a coffee, and I actually stopped by. I stopped by my dad's place because we just lost my great grandmother or my grandmother a couple weeks back. So I'll stop by his place and I'll just say hi, let him know that, you know, somebody loves him and somebody cares about him, and then I'll go to work. Right? These little things are a show of character, guys. Right? So if I asked you right now how you're showing up in the world to the people around you, what would you say? Right? That's the big piece about just staying on top of that, right? And celebrating, like, you can give yourself a big reward. So if I save X amount of dollars, I'm going to give myself a spa day, or I'm going to for me, I actually, you know, decided that I was actually going to take a couple of days off and I was going to go to the mountains. I'm blessed enough to be very close to the Rocky Mountains. So I was going to go to the mountains and I was just going to spend some time celebrating all of the things that went right. Because it's very easy, you guys, to get sucked into thinking about all the things that don't work and all the things that aren't right and all the plans that didn't work. But we forget to reward ourselves of the things that do work, right? The world is very, very small. It feels very big sometimes, but it's very small, right? But if you're that one person that's awake and the one person that's grateful, always be grateful. Always practice gratitude. Please, please, please. Okay? Because no matter how bad it is, right, you still have a heartbeat. You still have a pulse, right? Like, I am so grateful. You know what I'm grateful for today? I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful that I get to speak to you guys. I'm grateful for David. I'm grateful for this entire program. The more I delve into it and the more I listen and the more I watch, the more excited I am to be part of this, right? It's imperative that you guys practice gratitude every single day. Even if you write it down. I actually, for the longest time, my first year in business, I had a gratitude journal. It was just a little notebook. I just picked it up from the Looney store, threw it in my purse. So every time I felt grateful for something, or I, you know, get the warm fuzzies, for lack of a technical term, you write it down, right? I was grateful that I still had my dad, even though I'd lost my mom. I was grateful that my daughter's actually in the business with me, right? Many of my teammates might even be on this call today, right? I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for the fact that I can even be here speaking to you. I'm grateful for the training that I've accepted. I'm just grateful, right? If it starts raining, well, the grass is going to grow, right? It's not I got wet going to my car. It's the grass is going to grow. It's about perspective, okay? But your identity will greatly depict your perspective, okay? So I'm going to just, I'll finish off with just a few tiny things here, okay? Just remember, when you're skeptical about something, the moment you feel skeptical, I want you guys to check yourselves, okay? Because it comes from spaces that aren't going to serve you. Okay, I just want to leave you with this message to just kind of have a little more faith in yourself, give yourself a few more breaks and just a little more belief. Okay, so skeptical stems from, well, one, human nature. We fear change. Well, we kind of discussed that, didn't we? Right? The comfort zone. It's comfortable. In order to step out of the comfort zone where all the amazing things are, you're going to have to get uncomfortable, and there will be fear. I promise you, it's going to be uncomfortable, and there will be fear. Right? Fear is Sometimes it's a great precursor, but unless there's like a jaguar chasing you down the road, fear doesn't have a place here. Fear is it's just a feeling. It's not real. Although it feels like a tangible apple you could bite into, reach out and grab, it's not real, guys. It's there to limit you. Okay? It's okay to be aware, but don't be fearful. Nothing grows around fear. Okay? Now, 2, fear of the unknown. That's a big one. Okay? The unknown, why do we always assume the unknown is scary? Why do we assume it's bad? Why do we always put a negative flavor on it? Right? All of the massive changes I've had in my business, and let me tell you, there's been some big ones, right? I went from managing a massive ranch, and I'm talking 2,500 cows, right? And those 60, 80 bulls, big ranch. There was 3 or 4 people working underneath me, a lot going on, right? Do you honestly think I didn't run into some fear? Oh yeah, I was fearful. Okay, is that bull gonna run me over? Is that cow and her cat? Like, there's so many things that were there to fear. But you know what? I just stayed grateful. I'm like, look at this. Look at that sunset. Look at these cows. Look at this amazing horse I get to ride. My daughter's on a horse right beside me. What more could a woman ask for? Right? I am living my dream in that moment. But that changes too. So, like I said, stay flexible, right? All of these pieces, I'm giving you all you need to win here, guys. Right? But just remember, fear of the unknown, fear's not real. Fear's not real. Be educated. I mean, don't go, doing something silly, but definitely educate yourself. And if you don't feel fearful, fear and excitement, they're kind of the same thing in the brain. Just choose which one it is. Okay? And 3, and this is the big one, and this is what I'm going to leave you guys with. Number 3 is lack of belief. Lack of belief in yourself. Lack in belief of the people around you. This is why a mentor is so important. It's so important. A lot of people will either support you or they'll pull you down. And here's the thing, guys, if somebody is pulling you down, they're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it because they don't want to be alone, stuck in the comfort zone. They want you to kind of stay in that warm bed with them. Right? But remember, I said you got to get out of it to grow, right? So they want you to stay in that comfort zone. And if you want to get out of there, they're going to try to pull you back. And B, maybe they're just trying to protect you, right? But dreams are big. Remember what I said, make them so big, they make you uncomfortable. That's when you start writing things down. Once you start getting uncomfortable, that's when you're starting to knock on the door of what's possible. Okay? I just can't stress all of this enough. It has changed my life, you guys. I was making $3,000 a month, legit, no tax write-off. So I had to pay tax out of that. And then on top of that, I was working anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day with my baby girl strapped to my back in a lot of cases. So let me tell you, you need to believe in yourself. You must, because you're winning in life. If you win, it's your fault. But here's the clincher. If you lose, that's your fault too. And here's the thing. If you're on this call, you're ready, right? You know there's more, right? That's the whole mission statement behind this call, right? So ask yourself, where are you? Are you where you want to be? Be honest with yourself. Get uncomfortable, right? It's okay to be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, like I said, it's a great place. It just means that you're growing, right? You guys ever heard of the lobster, right? They build their shell, and the shell is their safety, right? Right? The shell is their safety. They're out of there. They're dinner for something bigger. But when they shed their shells, they must shed their shells to grow. They must, but they don't until it becomes so freaking painful that they have to do it because they can't stand it anymore. Do you want to be the lobster? You want to wait till it hurts so much and you're so uncomfortable that you have no other choice? Or do you want to build a plan and step out and stride out like a champion, and maybe lead? Maybe you have younger siblings. Guys, you're being watched. Okay, people are watching you. Your family's watching you. Your friends are watching you, right? They might not support you right away, but when they see you winning and they see you changing and becoming more, they will join you. Okay, so I cannot stress enough how much I'm so grateful to be here. And remember, winners make other people uncomfortable, right? So if you're doing really well, you're going to exude energy and you're going to exude confidence. And you know what? They're either going to want to join you or you're going to maybe drive them a little bit further away from you. But like I said, if you're on this call, I'm sure, I know you guys have vision. I know you guys do. I know you have goals. And however I can help David moving forward, if anybody wants to message me or whatever, they're welcome to. I know we have probably some questions, maybe not, but I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. At this point, I don't know if there's anyone that has a question. You can unmute your audio if you have any question, a special question to ask Sally. Do you have any question? Okay. Well, if there's no question, I would like to play the same video I played initially, just to tell you more about YOUTAF, what we do. But sincerely, we want to appreciate you, Sally, for your time. And a lot of people pay money to get such to attend the webinars or seminar like this, but you volunteer to assist us. We are really grateful. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Okay, so do I have any message? Okay, thank you. I think someone messaged you. Thank you, Sally. So as I said before, so I would like to take us through our website so that you can see what we do. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. So I think if you have any question, it's time for you to ask the question.
I see one from Isaac. He was just asking, what criteria should one look for in choosing a mentor? That's actually an excellent question, Isaac. Generally, what you want to look for is someone that aligns with your goals, somebody that you kind of naturally resonate with a little bit, and they're just a little further down the same path you want to travel. So this is why the goal setting is so crucial. So you kind of know who you want to be or where you want to be. So you look for somebody that's essentially where you're at, and it can be a coupling of a couple people. So if you have somebody that's spiritually where you want to be, they can be your spiritual mentor. But you have somebody in business that's where you want to be in time, that's who you'll look for. And they can, like I said, they don't have to be wealthy. They just need to be aware, and they need to be in a real great headspace. But a lot of times, the truly great mentors have all of the pieces. I'm very blessed to have mine. Does that answer your question, Isaac?
Okay, I have something to contribute, Isaac. That's why YOUTAF is there too. We help people. If you need a mentor, so you need to be part of us. Also, we can help you to connect you to mentors in different areas. So first of all, as she said during her lectures, so she said that you need to know what you want to be in life. So if you know what you want to be, you have a vision, you have a goal, joining YOUTAF, volunteering with YOUTAF, being part of us, we have rooms for that. Like we have rooms where we allow you to showcase your talent, maybe your visions and goal. We can match you with a mentor. So that is one of the things that we do. Like someone like Salina, she's into business. And if you want to be a business, we have other people like in other field that we can match you with. So what I will encourage you, especially those that are here in this webinar, is try as much as you can to be part of YOUTAF. Follow us on our social media, volunteer. I think there are a lot of opportunities with us.
Awesome. I'm just gonna, is it all right if I put my Instagram on there so anybody, they can kind of follow along and ask questions later if something pops up? Is that okay with you, David?
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Oh, looks like volunteers, nice. Okay, so with regards to creating wealth, do we follow our passion till we break through, or do we find a job that pays us and then learn to be happy with it? Wow. Wow, that is a really good question. That is powerful. So it's kind of a multi-level type answer, essentially. So right now, you have to focus on what is the immediate need. So the immediate need is to obviously food, roof over your head, things like that. But the big pieces, guys, is that you need to always try to make sure some piece, even if it's a minimum wage for now, because I mean, let's face it, when we first start out as you know, even under 30, sometimes it's tricky, right? But you want to try to make sure that you're in a job that in some way resonates with you. Like I wanted to be a veterinarian, so I ended up mucking stalls, but in that space I got to be around horses. I got to help veterinarians when they came to the barn. I got to learn so much about the animal husbandry. So that's maybe outside your realm of you know, of explanations, but that's how it relates to me. But that was not my end goal. So don't ever settle. That's probably my best advice, is get into a job that, you know, pays the bills, right? But doesn't necessarily become your permanent residence. You want to always be growing, and you can get educated on the side while you're working in the area that you want to go, because you never want to stop growing. Even if you're in the job you love and you do learn to love it and everything's perfect, the learning doesn't stop, right? The moment the learning stops, the identity just kind of completely plateaus, and you do not want that. So find good books to read, audiobooks if you have to, whatever it takes, guys. Does that answer your question?
Who asked the question? Okay, Grace. Okay.
Yeah, that was Fabian.
We have another question.
Go ahead.
Here is from Rana. He said, I want to know how to build self-belief. Do you have any advice?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, because we all struggle with it. I think we're not born with it, but it's pretty close, right? The first time, you know, we try to do something and our parents say, no, you're too little. It sticks, right? It sticks. And at some point you got to prove yourself wrong. You're not too little anymore. So it's a lot like that in anything in life, right? Some ways to build your self-belief. Carry yourself like the person you want to be, right? Like if you get out of bed and you just feel like, yeah, I don't feel handsome, I don't feel beautiful, I don't feel like I'm effective, I don't feel like I'm doing anything with my life. Get up and get dressed like you're going to the most important meeting of your life, and go do something for someone, or go do anything. But you need, what I've realized is that in creating some kind of ripple in the pond, right? Because if you just sit still, you don't create any ripples. The ripples, although you're sending them out when you throw a stone, right? Eventually, guys, that ripple makes it back, right? So it's a compounding thing with self-belief. But if you have a nagging thing in the back of your mind that says you're not smart enough, do something to prove it wrong. Then it'll slowly go away. So if you keep telling yourself, you know, that voice in the back of your head says you're not smart enough, read good books, educate yourself. And before long, that belief will no longer have foothold in your mind. It's all about taking initiative and being consistent in that initiative. Okay.
Okay. Is there any other question? Do you have more questions?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Precious has one.
If you want to talk and you can't unmute your audio, you can raise your hand. Then I will mute you. If you have anything to say, then you can talk. If you want to talk, you have anything to say, you can raise your hand. Okay, Brian.
Okay, so there's Precious. Do you want me to read her question, David, or do we want to unmute her?
Okay, Brian wants to talk.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Sally, thank you very much for the
Can
presentation.
you turn on your video, Brian?
Currently my surrounding is a bit dark, so you can excuse me for that, please.
Okay, no problem.
When I was a bit younger, I remember I had a friend who visited more often at home. He was my junior in school. And so one day, one of my teachers was at home with us, with my dad, when the friend visited. When the friend left, my dad mentioned that I should get friends who are in higher places than myself so that I can learn from them instead of having people who are below, for lack of a better word. Now, when he finished that comment, the teacher mentioned that what if the friend that came around's parents also told him to get someone who is higher to learn from? So the question I want to ask is this: how do you strike a balance between having to find a mentor while someone is also having you as their mentor?
Oh, you know what, Brian, that is a fantastic question. And I do run into that. I actually, yeah, I run into that quite often. And it is a great statement who you are and what your character is, right? This comes right back to, again, knowing yourself. Know who you are, where you are, and be realistic with where you are, right? You can lift others, you can be a mentor, but just remember to protect your joy, right? Watch your habits when you're with them, because it is very much, the people you spend the most time with, you will align with them. Either they will lift to where you are, or you will drop to where they are. So if you're not aligned and completely congruent with who you are, who you want to be, where your goals are, all of these things we've discussed, you will struggle and you will fade backwards, because people, remember, if they're a little bit behind you, again, not moral, it's just kind of, we're all on different racetracks, right? Ones that are behind you are going to innately, without even consciously thinking about it, they're going to pull you backwards because they want you to stay with them, right? I mean, they love you and you're amazing and they want you to be in their space. But if you're going to grow, you need to be aware. So with those people, as long as you keep your relationship very clear, as far as not allowing their habits, be kind, not nice, right? So you're going to tell them things. You're going to be like, hey, you know what? I don't think that aligns with your goals. Maybe we should do something different. Like if you know your friend's on a diet and they're trying their best to, get fit for playing on a team, don't sit there while they stuff their face with a bag of fries, like, be kind, be like, hey guys, why don't we just go grab a salad or something? Because I thought you were doing something like super big with your sports, like hold them accountable. And that goes for everyone, like hold them accountable, but definitely try to have yourself the majority of your time around people that are a little bit further ahead than you, because you're going to get pulled forward, because remember, you're aware. You are now the one that is behind, but you're also aware that you're behind. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Brian? Perfect. Okay. Precious had a question too. Do you mind if I read it? Sorry, I gotta plug on my computer. Do you mind if I read it, David?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the best advice that you can give a person who is trying to cultivate a savings habit? That is a really good question too. You guys are full of amazing questions. I don't know if I've been asked these before. So the best advice I can give a person who's trying to cultivate a savings habit is actually, I have a lot of like 18, 17, 18-year-old teammates and clients that what I'll do is I'll tell them that every time they deposit money, they need to take 10% of that and put it away and do it diligently. Like I don't even care if it's like $1, you need to put 10 cents in savings. Like it's that stringent, like that stringent. You need to be, like I said, you need to stay committed, right? Commitment is massive across the board. But yeah, so you can either do that, or you can have like set yourself up a savings account and set an alarm on your phone the day before or the day after you get your paycheck, and you can actually have it, just remind yourself to put it in savings, or you can talk to your bank in some places and have them automatically transfer X amount of dollars a month into savings. That's one way to do it. But it is good habit to have it set in your phone and manually do it. Because guys, this is one of those wins. This is one of those wins that we talked about, right? I managed to save X amount of dollars. Awesome, right? And every day you'd be like, yep, I saved my money this month. I did it, right? Because that'll build belief. That'll build belief that you not only can do it, but you deserve to be able to do it. Okay? That was a good question. Really good question, Precious.
Thank you very much. Is there another question? Okay.
All right. No, is that it? Are we good? There's no other questions, guys? Oh, yep,
No.
there is. Sorry.
There's someone, Susan.
Yeah. Susan.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I just want to ask that she said something about celebrate your success. I just want to know how she meant by that, how we can celebrate our success, right? So I just want to know how we can celebrate our success.
Okay, so to better yourselves. Sorry, there was just some background noise.
She was asking how can someone celebrate his or her success? You know, you made mention of someone celebrating his or her success anytime you achieve something great. So
Yeah.
how can you do that?
Okay, so like every time I would achieve something that I had set as a goal. Like I said, remember I have 30, 60, 90, 365-day goals. I try to have something small that I will do for myself. Something that's for me, something that I probably wouldn't otherwise do. Whether it be, I don't know, it sounds silly, but get your nails done. I mean, I'm a ranch girl. I have never done that in my life. And so I went and I did it. And you know what? It felt good to do something for me. Whether it was something I've always wanted to do or not, it felt good, right? Whether it be, I don't know, just take a day for yourself. Go visit a friend you haven't seen in a while. Go to a restaurant that's maybe a little more pricey than you usually go to. Whatever you feel will help pull you through trying to achieve that goal for that success, right? For me, my big one is that me and my daughter will have our toes in the sand on a tropical beach. I'm actually aiming for Hawaii if we can. But I need to go senior marketing director. I need to push my team. I have goals for my teammates, right? So I want to see them, get out of debt and empowered. And then and only then have I hit my goal. So I just wrap it around things that matter to you. Just really figure out what motivates you, what makes it worth doing for you, and then reward yourself kind of accordingly. Each of us could be very, very different, but on the small reward scale, it could be as simple as getting yourself your favorite ice cream if it's a small goal, right? I wouldn't make that the one for every goal, or your physical habits might go south, but that's kind of the idea behind it. Just find something that works for you. Write down, and each of you, actually, one thing I want you guys to do before we go is just write down 5 things about you that are working, and write down 5 things that aren't, and then just build a plan around the things that aren't, just to kind of maybe strengthen where they may be weak. Okay. Fabian, when you begin your business, what were the qualities you looked out for in your team members? What made you decide to work with them? Wow. Okay. I really like that one. That was a really good one. The qualities I looked out for in my team members were reliability, mission. I really needed them to have a mission, to want to help people. I don't want people coming in just to make money. That's just not what resonates with me. Some people do. Some people do. I believe wholeheartedly that if we affect change and we help people and we support people, the money will come. Money's just a byproduct. I feel like passion, heart, integrity is huge. Yeah, and just belief that we can make a difference. The belief we can be bigger. That and who we are is not who we will be, right? If I met the future me, in 10 years, I'd probably blow myself away, because I have never quit changing. And the same will go for you guys, right? But, and what made me decide to work with my company? Wow, so many things. The mentorship, the support. Again, the company itself has integrity. Like they're always donating. If they make $1 million, they donate 250,000. Like it's a constant. It's a culture, right? There's a culture there, and some of the people that I've met through this business have made me who I am today. The leadership was probably key. The mentorship, that was key. I came in brand new, wet behind the ears. I couldn't even spell RSP. And the head of the company took me under his wing. He saw something and yeah, built me up. So that was a massive piece for me. So if you guys, yeah, if you find somebody that you resonate with, definitely don't wait too long to dig in. You don't want to stay in your comfort zone too long, because a mentor can make it all very, very, very obvious what you need to do next. Okay, so people, entrepreneurs used to say, you can grow rich from nothing. How can that be possible for someone who doesn't have any financial means? Also a very good question. I think what they mean by that is ideas have value, right? I was actually watching an interview of the actual guy who did Wolf of Wall Street. He was the Wolf of Wall Street. If you guys have seen the movie, he actually got, he actually had everything taken from him. His wife left, his kids left. He went to jail, the whole 9 yards. But when he came out, he actually, I think he only had like $7 to his name. So he bought himself a little, like back then you could do this, like a little cooler and some popsicles. And then he went to the beach and he sold them for twice as much as what he bought them for. But because it was a hot day, people are in their sandals. They don't want to walk, the quarter mile to the store to go buy a popsicle. They paid extra for the popsicle. He ended up doing that for like 20 days in a row. And he actually, ended up making quite a bit of money and got himself to a point where he could invest in a real business and started the ball rolling again. There is no stopping an entrepreneur. There really isn't. I think being a single mom, I've hit rock bottom many times. I'm not ashamed of it. It made me use my mind. It made me think outside the box. To be honest, the whole reason I started training horses, I started taking people's dangerous horses because I was naturally good with them, but I was doing what nobody else would do, right? I'm a grown woman. I've mowed the neighbor's lawn for $20 when need be, right? $10 is $10, $20 is $20. I don't care how much is in my bank account. I will help the neighbor and I will make my $20. It's $20, right? These people that think, oh, I'll hire somebody to do that. Is that really the way you want to be? Or do you want to like always be grinding? You always kind of want to be thinking and molding and building, and like, that's where I'm at. I'm kind of busy that way. So yeah. So essentially find a need that you can fulfill, however small, and find a way to fulfill it. And you have yourself a business. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. It really doesn't. Okay. Okay. So what are the steps that one can take? Sorry, this is Ashma. Steps that one can take to control and respond what's happening around his or her uncomfortable zone. Oh, wow. That's really good. Okay. So I'm going to speak to this from the space of how do we respond from what's happening around your comfort zone? Okay. So if, say, I'm going to speak to this as if you're in you're outside your comfort zone. Is that correct? Just trying to make sure I answer this as effectively as I can. So if I was outside my comfort zone and I'm pushing and I'm growing and I'm doing everything I can, and remember, I am extremely uncomfortable at this moment. But I'll let you know, in your comfort zone, you're comfortable, you're a little bit numb. You're a little numb. You don't notice as much as you should. And but when you're outside your comfort zone, you are acutely aware, a lot like an animal in new space, right? Have you ever noticed them? Like their ears are always twitching, their eyes are on, like they're just, they're heightened, right? So outside your comfort zone, you actually will feel like more is happening because you're paying better attention. You're paying better attention because you are in a new area, right? You're in a new space. So you're trying to lay the land. You're trying to figure out what's what. So there's going to be like this learning curve. You're going to step out of your comfort zone and it's going to start to climb. And then all of a sudden you're going to plateau because you figured out everything you needed to figure out to get here. So then you've got to start looking into the next comfort zone. Okay. So you can do another climb and plateau. It's not all, it's not all easy, and it's not all level. There's growing and there's plateauing and there is the odd backslide, but that's business and that's growth, right? Okay. So is that, shall I answer the last question, David?
Okay, so that is the last question because.
Okay, no, I can answer this one fairly quickly, I think, and then we can let you close out. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay, so CD asked me how to kill more goals and focus on only one of the few ones. Okay, so I'm assuming you're thinking kind of more, how do you focus on the ones that like prioritize your goals essentially? That's how I'm going to come at it. So to prioritize your goals, know yourself better. Just know yourself better. Know who you are, who you want to be, how. That's why I said the 5 things that are working and the 5 that aren't, because the 5 that aren't are going to be precursors to the things you're struggling with or the areas you need to work on. Right? If you're being honest with yourself, there may be more than 5. I think I had 20. We're human, right? Yeah. So just really focus on the ones that align with your goals and the person you want to be. That is my best advice on that. Definitely. So it all boils down to just really getting to know you and your goals and where you're going. Okay. I am so profoundly grateful for all of you. And those are amazing questions.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is a wonderful webinar. I'm so excited for this wonderful lecture. Thank you so much. Well, because like this webinar is made to last for 1 hour, so that next time when we call on them, they will value that, because I think everyone here, like, we need to manage our time. So if you have any question, she has given you a link to her Instagram. Just follow her on her Instagram. You can also follow us on Instagram. If you have any question, if you can't reach her, you can reach any of us. You can send your message via our Facebook or Instagram. And most importantly, I would like each and every one of us to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. We have more program coming up. So every month we'll be having a program like this, educational series. And with time, we have other better programs coming up. So just make sure you follow us, especially on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll keep you updated. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming. I can see a lot of people from Africa, from North Africa, from Middle East, from Canada, so from Ghana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are happy. And YOUTAF, with time, YOUTAF, we're going to have a lot of branches in different nations like Ghana and other places. Make sure you follow us on social media. Be part of what we are doing. We have other amazing programs coming up. So make sure you follow us. Thank you. Bye-bye. I think I'll be ending the meeting. Bye-bye. Take care.